Hello, I'm Big Boy Bro, and I've pre-ordered my Nintendo Switch 2. I'm very excited and eagerly awaiting its release. But before that happens, I want to talk a little bit about my experience with the Nintendo Switch. Everyone has their own first console that they bought with their own hard-earned money, whether it be at a fast food restaurant job or working for your parents' friends or something like that. Personally, I rounded up a bunch of old games my family didn't want and sold them. And then I also worked for a member of my church that I used to be a part of for some extra cash. Using all of this, I was able to buy my first Nintendo Switch in late summer 2018. I actually still have that Switch. It's right here. Look at that. Look at that. That's my Switch. My first ever one. You can tell from the overabundance of thumb grease. Look at that. The left Joy-Con's joystick is completely non-functional, but it served its purpose well. Once I got my old job at Wendy's, I was able to start affording my own games and controllers. This was a little bit after I first got my Switch, so for a while there, I was strapped for cash and couldn't really buy anything for the Switch. So that brings me to the actual start of this video. The timeline, the games, the past almost 7 years of owning this thing. I'm going to touch on some of the notable games or ones that I think are cool. But let's begin. Since I was surviving on ice soup for the first couple of months, you know what that means. I was only able to download free games from the eShop. I can't believe I'm saying this, but the first Switch game I ever downloaded was Fortnite. It was fairly early on in its life, but I played it. A lot of it. This was enough to hold me off until my first real game. But a very notable part of me and Fortnite was Season 8, Chapter 1. When everyone got the Battle Pass for free that Valentine's Day. I put a lot of time grinding the Battle Pass and unlocked all the rewards. I still have them on my account to this day, and I treasure all the skins and emotes I got. That for me personally was my peak time with Fortnite. I made so many memories and played so much with an old middle school friend of mine named Malachi, and we made plenty of memories. Okay, I might have bought a couple digital games in between, like my first actual real video game. And the first one is actually Donkey Kong Arcade Archives. Why do I remember it so much? It's because it's mid as fuck. It doesn't have that extra stage from Donkey Kong 64, and it eventually came out on the NES emulator online Nintendo Switch things, so I guess like screw everyone that bought the game before the online, because like now you're never getting those $8 back.
Editor's note, they actually did update the game as I was getting footage for the video, but I'm still gonna keep that tangent in because there was once a time where they didn't update it, so fuck you in the comments.
Okay. Anyways, using the power of mediocre grades, I was able to convince my father while shopping at a Target to purchase my first ever Switch game. That game was Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Now this one may actually surprise you when I tell you about it. My two brothers played Mario Kart 64 so much growing up on our N64. Then I played Mario Kart Wii so much on my Wii through my elementary and early middle school years. So you may think that this game, in general, was played a lot by our family members. Only a tame 160 hours for the past, 6.5 years of owning this game? Never sold, by the way, because yes, I did sell some of my Switch games to buy more Switch games. Let me tell you something. I heavily regret selling Super Mario Maker 2. I wish I still had the game! Anyways, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I occasionally like playing 48 random courses in a row. The DLC completely ruined this, by the way, because there's no option for 96 random courses, and the 48 courses are chosen between the base game and DLC. Like, come on, man! Every time my bud Nate decides to come down here to my place, we always boot this up, and have a great time dealing with the game's bullshit. That's about it from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Not the most important, but it was the first. I believe for the second game, my mom and I were in a Walmart, and I might have pulled the same grade shtick with my mom or something, but we walked out of that Walmart with a copy of Dark Souls Remastered for the Switch. I've put more time into this than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, coming in at over 245 hours of playtime. I'm definitely done playing this. I've had my fun with it, and I own this on every other platform known to mankind that isn't Xbox. I own this on Steam, both versions on my PlayStation 5. Hell, I even played and beat this on the original PlayStation 3. What can I say? I love From Software, and I'm super pumped about the Duskbloods on Nintendo Switch too. Ain't that right, Nate? Can I just say now, I really love being able to just boot up the Switch and like just play a game just right then and there, like get right back to what I was doing. I love doing this with Dark Souls Remastered. Every time I would like go to sleep, and then like I would play the game before I go to sleep, and then like as I'm falling asleep mid-game, like I just turn it off, and then I'm right back to where I wanted to, like in the morning. That's such a boon for the Switch. You can't do that with anything else. That's something like a lot of people take for granted, I think, but I really like that feature. Okay, brace yourself for potentially the largest part of this video. The third ever Switch game I've owned physically. I got this game day one of its release. Shortly after I bought my Switch, I was able to convince my mom, again, to pre-order on Amazon Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Yes, the Switch's most probably popular title. This is the big game, the one with the most hours, coming in at over a staggering 1,640 hours of total playtime. We boys enjoy having Smash nights at my place or my brother's like every now and then, and I doubt the Nintendo Switch 2's release will change that. Where do I even start? Okay, I remember playing the World of Light campaign, I remember the many hours we spent in the stage builder, and I actually went competitive with this game. Big Boy Bro 45 was at one point top 16 Smash players in the US. Crazy, right? I remember showing everyone the King K. Rool trailer, even my own mom, and that's the character I've consistently been #1 with. I've gotten pretty good with over like half the roster, and I've collected plenty of amiibo to keep me busy. There's just way too much to talk about with this game, so let's try and summarize it. I believe this is one of the very few rare games in my life that I've played more with friends and family than I have done alone. And that's saying a lot, considering, 1,640 hours. I joined my high school esports team because of this game. I went the whole mile, and I don't regret a single second of it. Many controllers were smashed, broken, destroyed, but we've had our fun with the game. We'll continue to play it, and hell, I might even boot up Stage Builder to make some iconic new stages, and me and my bros will continue to have fun playing them. Smash Bros runs deep in our veins, deep in our blood. All the way back to Smash 64. We skipped Melee and Wii U, but we spent countless hours on Smash 64. And then when I got my Wii, when I was just a kid, we played Brawl just as much, now Ultimate. We were all pumped for the game's release, and we definitely had the most bonding time with it as a family. Almost. That statement brings me to the next game, the fourth game I owned, still never sold, and is currently being cared for by my middle brother. At this point in time, I got my job at Wendy's, so I could actually start buying my own games. Me and my mom were out and about shopping, and we stopped at a GameStop, and I walked out of that GameStop with Minecraft. This isn't actually my copy, I just needed to borrow my brother's for the video. Minecraft and my family go way, way back. Our first exposure was from Markiplier's drunk Minecraft videos. We saw them, we liked it, and we convinced our mom and dad to buy like Minecraft on our old like 2010 computer. Like this thing was a piece of junk. It couldn't run very well. But that was like our first exposure to Minecraft. Fast forward to now, Minecraft on Switch. This was a real big change to the way we played the game. We had enough controllers at the time, so me and my two other brothers started playing the game on split screen. We really pushed the Switch to its limits. We had booted up a couple worlds and had our fun with those lost worlds, but the main world is still kept to this day. IUD is its name, standing for the initials of our names. You guys need to see some of the builds in this world. They are phenomenal. This is Mechanos, my country. A small village with some pretty cool builds, the pirate ship for the fishing villager, the auditorium for the cartographer, the cathedral, and my most proud and biggest build in the world, the factory. I love this build so much. Based off the final lava level in Frogger, he's back. That's not all. Even though I might have the biggest, grandest singular build, my brother's build, you have to see this. It's a massive village with multiple sections. I'm very proud of him for this build, and he still updates the village to this day. Recently, the game has kind of fallen off for us, but that's okay, because we can always pick right back up where we left off. Okay, this is where the video gets a little bit faster, because at this point in time, I started selling my Switch games, so we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to briefly talk about strong titles that don't have enough playtime hours to become like a main topic for the video. There's only one strong title in between the main games at this point in time, and it's Super Mario Odyssey. I love this game. I've 100%ed it like 3 times, I think. I've fallen asleep to the soundtrack before, just leaving my Switch on play. It was a good game. It was a good game. Okay, so this is a little bit later into the library. I think this was my 11th Switch game ever. This is actually a sleeper pick. I didn't expect it to be like this important, but that game is Dragon Ball FighterZ. I spent 415 hours on it. I have all the DLC, and I believe my best rank was Super Saiyan Blue on like ranked. I know, crazy. I'm a competitive Nintendo Switch Dragon Ball FighterZ player. I mean, like, you never would have thought that. Now, first of all, getting goated on the Switch version of this is quite something. But you have to realize, I really liked being able to take this thing with me wherever. I learned a bunch of combos with a lot of the characters, and to be honest, I played Mortal Kombat 9 a lot on my PlayStation 3, and I think that Dragon Ball FighterZ is the best fighting game I've ever played, just to make a comparison. The combat is so fun, so satisfying to pull off, and I've landed a couple of touch-of-death combos before in online rank matches, so I'm actually quite good at the game. Alright, rapid fire here, because we got a couple of honorable mentions. Breath of the Wild. I found all the shrines, spent about like 80 hours. I don't care for the Korok seeds, but I really liked playing the game. I thought it was a very good game. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled. I owned the original on the PlayStation 2, and that was like the main game I played on the PlayStation 2 growing up. So when they announced this, I was so excited, and just I was there when it like released because I really wanted this because I loved the original so much. Very rarely I'll boot that game up, but I think I'll just stick with the original because I do have a PlayStation in my guest room. Okay, dishonorable mention. Xenolade Chronicles 2. The story for this game is criminal. We were in a Walmart, and this was in the clearance aisle, and it was $40. That's crazy for clearance, by the way, but I bought it. I got home, I sliced it open with a knife or whatever. I opened it, no game. There was no game in there. I never got to play it. Like, there was no game. I went back to Walmart multiple times, and they just wouldn't have a replacement for it. So I just wasted $40. That being said, I probably wouldn't have enjoyed it as much because, I mean, I have the original Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii. I played that for a little bit, but I just could not get into it, so maybe I was saving myself or something. Here we are at our next main title. I don't quite remember when I got this game. I still play it to this day, but that game is Pokemon Sword, coming in at over 265 hours of playtime. Where do I even start with this? This is one of my personal favorites of the Switch games I owned. I'm not too into competitive online, but I do love executing competitive strats in the battle tower. Grinding Dynamax battles are also pretty fun. Getting the rewards and seeing if I can one-shot the 5-star raids is pretty fun. I almost have the Pokedex completed. I'm just missing Zamazenta and the fossil Pokemon. I enjoyed the DLC. I do enjoy the power creep as well, but I also love being able to use my favorites like Milotic and Volcarona. Huge shout out to Champion Leon's theme. I'm gonna go off on a tangent here. I'm not even gonna look at the script or anything. I love music. I can't function properly at work or doing something without a Raycon in my ear. So it means a lot when I say like, I love music. But Champions Leon's theme, the first time I ever heard it, it wasn't much at first, but then when I really started applying it to my daily chores, when I started listening to it at work, all the time when I run, when I do my dishes, when I clean my apartment, when I drive, when I do literally anything, Champion Leon's theme is being played because I love that song so much. It's just so motivating. It's a theme, it's a proper theme for a champion, you know? I don't remember the name off the top of my head of the composer for Champion Leon's theme, but I just want to give a huge personal thank you because that is my favorite song ever made. Okay, I'm not that much of a nerd. Okay, I listen to King Von. All right, so get the hell off my back. The base game and DLC are pretty good, but the post game sucks ass. Before we get to the next segment, sometime after Pokemon Sword and between the next main title I'm going to talk about, I bought the OLED model for the Switch because I needed to upgrade really badly because the non-functional Joy-Con was really getting to me and the Switch was just starting to show its age. Here are the two of them together. Look at that. Isn't that kind of cool? But yeah, the left Joy-Con was completely non-functional. The right one also just doesn't work in general. And the kickstand's missing, so I just needed to upgrade, and this is the one I've been playing ever since that I play even now. Alright, we're gonna get into some more honorable mentions here, and this next one is really weird, but it's actually the YouTube app. I don't know why. I have over 600 hours accrued on this. I guess I just fell asleep to the Switch playing YouTube videos in the background, or I just watched a lot of YouTube on this. I don't know why I have that many hours on YouTube, but it's there. Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. I almost 100%ed this. I still think I need to beat every level with Peach and Luigi. I enjoyed the Bowser's Fury expansion, the Mario Odyssey type vibe that it gave off. It was a nice little thumb killer for what it was worth. I actually really like this one. This is a good one of the games. Super Mario 3D All-Stars. I know I'm giving into consumerism and issues with game pricing for saying that I like this, but damn it! How else was I gonna play Super Mario Sunshine? At the time, of course. Nah, Mario 64 was the main reason why I bought this. A little bit of Mario Galaxy, but Mario 64 I've beaten on like every platform known to man. If I could find a way to emulate Mario 64 on a PlayStation 5, I probably would, because it's one of my favorite games and I've just beaten it so many times on so many different like computers and laptops and emulation and softwares, and yeah. Here we are for the last game that I've bought since the creation of this video, and it is Pokemon Violet. I really like this one. It's just like Pokemon Sword, but less, I guess. I like the Terra Raids, I like terrestrialization, and by the way, the game is actually genuinely good. Like, I know Pokemon Sword is like probably only appealing to those people who like Pokemon because the game in the outside view is like not that good, but Pokemon Violet, like the 9th generation, they're actually like really good. It's got a simple but very effective story. The surprise twist at the end was shocking, but it does kind of lack on the school and bully side of the story, but it's passable and really sweet when you think about it. Plus you can round up like 8 Igglybuffs together, so I mean, like, I have to get that some points. I haven't gotten to the DLC yet, but maybe I will one day. Only time will tell. And that's the end of my time with the Switch. God, just thinking about everything about this this little device really gets me a little nostalgic, maybe even a little teary-eyed even. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch 2 is gonna release. I'll still have my white Switch model, but it'll probably just be collecting dust. So what do I end off with? Well, nothing better than my expectations for the Nintendo Switch 2, of course. I'm a huge racing fan, so of course Mario Kart World was a huge selling point for me with the Nintendo Switch 2. I can't wait to play Elden Ring and do the same exact thing I was talking about with Dark Souls Remastered, playing it before I go to sleep, then waking up and picking up right where I left off. Pokemon Legends ZA looks pretty good, the Duskbloods, and even the GameCube library I'm super pumped about. I have a lot of expectations for this thing, and this might age horribly saying this, but I do believe that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be Nintendo's next big thing, if not just the next big thing. Here's hoping for that. That's all I wanted to get off my mind. See you all when it releases. Have an amazing day. Bye!